Hello everyone, I hope you're fine. It's been a while since I've made any video, and so let me present you something that just came into my mailbox recently. And this is the Flipper Zero. Let's unpack it. And looking at the box, we see like a nice instruction letting you that we can just make a quick start on dock Flipper 01. And so now we have like cable, so it's already always nice to have like cables, but my lab today is like full of these cables actually. So then what we have, stickers, nice, perfect for my laptop. And then we have our Flipper Zero here. Nice. So looks like heavy, like, and also solid. When I was looking on the crowdfunding website, I was like, yeah, it's probably just will be like just a simple gadget. The plastic will not be very resistant, but looks pretty solid actually. So then we can pull this out and maybe just start it. So let's start it with the return button. Whoa, nice. We have our Flipper just working right now. Maybe I would just like zoom on it a little bit. So what we have in here, so maybe I would just press next. Thank you for your support, it's nice. Kickstarter campaign was insane. Come on guy, don't sleep. Okay, so there's some options. So my first option was like the Sub-GHz feature, then there's a 125 kHz RFID, NFC, infrared, GPIO, nice, this is like GPIO. So you have an USB UART bridge, so that means that actually you will be able to directly interface with those sort of things. So we will see also that in this video. We have the I button, the bad USB, so yeah, there's like a nice bad USB, so I probably think that just like by plugging, for example, the Flipper, you will be able, for example, to inject some bad keystrokes, for example. Plugging, so you have plugins, nice, you have a music player, nice, super. MIDI player. You have a snake game. I was like very good at it. Then you have a Bluetooth remote. So Bluetooth remote, keynote. Okay, so nice. You have a way, for example, for your slides. For example, when I'm presenting right now, I could probably use it. Why I'm using just like all those stream decks and so on, I could just use it. That's perfect. Then you have like settings. You have Bluetooth off. Okay, so LCD notification. So Bluetooth is probably just make also for, because you can update also the device by Bluetooth. Storage, I will also maybe add like an SD card, because I think that if the device wants to collect some IDs or just dump some cards, it will probably use also the SD card for that. So battery info, okay, nice. Desktop, oh yeah, for app pin setup, I can just set up a pin. Awesome. Yeah, I will just do that later. Passport, nice. Happy, yeah, I'm also happy to have you. Flipper system log default. Okay, so debug, I log debugs unless there's like too much debug. Log level errors. I will probably also make use of the infrared too. So maybe with the infrared I would just maybe dump one of the infrared I have in here for my screens, maybe for the little ball that is in here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's be crazy. So yeah, I would just click on infrared, universal library, learn remote. Let's do that. So I will just like, nice. And now, come on guy. So if I want to set it, I will send it. So I will just direct it to my little device and let's see what it does. Okay, that worked. So first test done. Okay, so now let's play with overlights. So we will just test now the Sub-GHz module, which is actually a module probably made for the ISM technologies. Every technology on the ISM bands depending on the region. So in front normally I should be limited because we will see that we can just unlock these limitations at some point, and you will see why. Is that we'll be able, for example, to just like sniff as for what is going on this remote actually. So let's play with it. So now we'll just like make use the Sub-GHz module that, then we just read maybe. Yeah, let's read. So I will just like open here. Yeah. The thing is that it's directly scanning on the 3433 MHz. So I will have to actually change it. Yeah, we can also set up this device to do some frequency hopping. That's good. Okay. Modulation. What type of modulation? I know that this modulation is AM, FM, FSK actually. It's 2 FSK, but yeah, I will probably just set up it on the right frequency because yeah, I don't know actually what this is doing. It's on the 960. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I cannot just like set up it as I want. So yeah, let's do some scanning. Okay, can I just like hopping? Also set it to FSK. Okay. That's strange. It does only go to the frequency that are defined in here. So it's crazy because it's a little bit crazy. Yeah, just let up it on the right frequency. G5, okay. Yeah, that's super strange. So let's remake some tests in here with another remote in here from an alarm, a very simple alarm. So I will just go back, Sub-GHz, read, and so let's do some scanning. Nice, Preston. It's not Preston, but yeah. Okay. So the key is that SN. Yeah, it's not really that, but you can always set it. Yeah, I would probably just make a test. I would probably also maybe just read a row like that and see what is going on. Oh no, why it does not? Yeah. Frequency analyzer. That's, yeah, okay. So now it detects like something. Okay, I see that the frequency analyzer is actually scanning doing like also some hopping very quickly. And it's able also to see a little device in the range. So yeah, the frequency analyzer is something that will probably spot like some nice communication. So it's good to have that, but yeah, it's not yet super precise. Now let's see about how we can actually just like the raw AM. It's crazy because it's the good frequency, good modulation, but it does not want to take it. I don't know why. It's crazy. Nothing. So yeah, we'll not use that. Read row is maybe just like by updating maybe the firmware, I will have another surprise. All right, so let's do some updates of this Flipper Zero. Nice, and there's like a nice application that is also functioning on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux, of course. So let's test it with Linux. We have also the source code of this application, so it's also nice. Everything is open source, so you can trust it or not. So now we are able to update it. So let's do that. Not present. Okay, that's fine. Database missing. We'll update it. You can also set up the Flipper Zero via UDEV DFU. Normally there's recovery mode that you can use. So for example, you can boot on recovery, and there's like a small option to boot on recovery like that. And then you can use DFU mode in order to flash it. So that's super cool. Okay, so I have some SD card in here. Let's plug it because it really wants me to plug some SD card. So let's do that. Dolphin is also crying a little bit because there's no SD card on it. So yeah, don't cry at the little dolphin. Don't cry. Just putting an SD card right now. And up. Let's see. I just put an SD card on it. So now telling me all the data will be saved on the SD card. So I will just like click on OK. Nice. Oh, this is cool. You can also have the GUI. If you don't want, for example, to look at your dolphin, you can also use directly the GUI from there. Nice. Okay. We can probably also just go to Sub-GHz. SD card database found. Some data should be reduced. Okay, let me maybe just go to the settings and storage, format the SD cards. Maybe it's because it is not formatted yet. It's pretty nice. You have the LCD screen, you have the LCD screen, but you can also watch it from your computer like that. It's pretty nice. Okay. Complete. Nice. So then let's go back in here. UDF mode. Nice. Yeah, also UDF mode. Okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to just do some Sub-GHz things. A noise card database found. Some app function may be reduced. Okay, so this is like probably like a database to get. So let's maybe get the database. Keeper 0 database like that. Okay, so what does it mean? Okay, let's probably just like now it is telling me that in here that the database will be saved on the SD card. So let's click OK. Or okay, so I had actually to go just like reboot and then try to connect once again the 0, and now it detects my SD card. So maybe I have to update once again all those things. So let's see. Okay, this is really stupid because yeah, if I'm just showing you exactly what is going on, we're a little bit crazy. So yeah, basically I'm just like scanning now with a little antenna, not with an adapted antenna, so it's a little bit noisy, but you can clearly see that there's like something happening on the 868.36. So yeah, basically if you look at what is going on precisely in here like that, you see that this is a little bit higher than the scan frequency. So I expect that probably all of that is a little bit fixed. So we can probably just manage by just like maybe changing the frequency that I use in here. So maybe we can use over frequency as well. But we will do that. So we'll try to do that maybe later by modifying the firmware, by just like trying to unlock it at some point. Okay, so now let's maybe see some other things. We'll just look at the RFID features right now. So, for example, we'll begin with the 125 kHz RFID, something very simple for the moment. So let's just bring one card in here like that. Okay, in here. So we can maybe just we'll just write it on the T5577 cards like that. Let's see. Writing. Come on. Okay, nice. So now if we want to scan, okay, you can also save it if you want. So we can also try to save this card. Let's save it like that for the moment. I'm a little bit lazy. Okay, so now if I want to read the T5577 cards, I can also read it directly like that. Okay, it had notified this card like that. So that's perfect. We can also look maybe with the Proxima. And so now I'm approaching. I will put also the flipper 0 to emulation mode. And then let's see. I will do like an LF search just to see what kind of technology. Yeah, it sees directly the HID prox ID, so that the emulation is working properly. Let's see now how it works with the classic, for example, tags. Okay, let's see, NFC, read card. Okay, now it has detected a simple MIFARE Classic tag, so let's see if we can read it. So just try to read it. Okay, so it's searching for keys. It has found some keys. You can also emulate if you want. So yeah, Let's maybe try to emulate it and see it on the Proxmark now. On the Proxmark, let's see what we got. So we'll just do FHF search at the moment. Okay, now let's try to emulate. We're still emulating the tag, and we'll just put a little phone in here. Oh, kind of buggy. What about data read failed? I don't know if it's emulating properly the tag or not, but seems it's having some troubles. We can maybe try another tag just for the moment. Read cards like that. Okay. And finally, it found it. We can go more. We can try to emulate this time. All right. So we are doing like some emulation right now. Let's see. Yeah, it's still crazy. Just like jumping off. The emulation is still a little bit unstable, I saw at some points. Okay. So maybe it will work on the system, but for the moment, if I'm trained with a mobile phone, I cannot see any data. So it's complicated right now. Use something else. Wait a second, maybe like a Proxmark again. So HFMF, like that. MF. And I would just like maybe use it hardly can actually read it. It's maybe some debugging in here. Now let's try to copy this tag. So this tag is just a simple blank tag, but maybe it will do the job. I will just emulate it and try once again if it will work on the Proxmark. So let's see. I will try to read some blocks. Wait a second. Yeah, if I'm just like step by step reading some blocks, let's see. So let's try to read a block. And because I'm lazy, I will just copy this little line like that. Okay, and let's read this block. Okay, like I cannot select. Oh, now I can read it. Okay, so maybe block per block I can read something, but it's very difficult, for example, to read everything. So maybe I can just like let's maybe use this check key. I can probably just read let's just use the check key against this simple 1K, K, and now lazy copy, fast, and also I will just fix that up like that. What? Oh yeah, like that. Okay. Yeah, when I'm trying to read all those things, it's awkward. Yeah, it's not really stable for the moment. Seems. Yeah, I'm trying just to dump everything like that, but I have to do that step by step using a simple key. Sorry, the key like that, like block 1, block 0, block 1. Maybe like we can use also sectors, like for example, maybe try to read the whole sectors. MF read the sector. Let's do last sector 0. Like that. With this key. Okay, Alt arrow. Okay, now it's working like that. So what do we have here? So we have like special actions. That's so cool because you can read like ultra cards, MIFARE ultra cards, ultra lights, and tag also, bank card tag. Oh, bank card tag also, nice. I will probably not read in front of you my bank cards, but so yeah. You can do that by curiosity. You can also add like manually some stuff. Okay, so now let's read some fire cards like that. And we see like a nice fire card like that. So let's maybe just what's the data. There's 2 applications. I1. Okay. So we can also look at some unprotected file. That's nice. Okay. What can you? Well, we can also save some data that we could actually look at. Let's maybe just try to once again to dump the previous tag like this one. Okay, it seems like in here you can emulate, for example, the UID of the tag, ultralight EV1. So you can also emulate. Nice. We have some nice stuff also in here. Ultralight and tag. This is probably just like emulate. Okay. Some emulation you can add yourself also. So you have infrared, GPIO. Okay, you have like USB. Manual control. Okay, so yeah, you can also test. I'm just checking like that randomly. So you have only like a USB UART bridge. So yeah, basically the setup for to have like our USB can look as follows. So generally I have just plugged a very old router accessible through UART, and I plug everything on the pins that are indicated in the flipper 0. So like that, I'm able to just map the TX, RX in the ground in here, and so then I can have a shell in here, as you can see. So like that, I can see what is going on. So PS, I can now access the root. I can have a shell. So yeah, the UART works, but still, yeah, for me it misses like a lot of stuff. For example, if I want to, I don't know, let's say I want to reflash something in SWD. I don't know. I want to also to have like GTAG access extra. It misses some features that are probably not provided yet, but that will probably come later. There's also some other projects around Flipper 0 because the community is also very big. For example, I'm looking at that Flipper 0, awesome. There's a lot of collection. Flipper 0 awesome. This is like also Flipper 0 in here for mouse jiggler, firmware with plugins, unlocked firmware with assorted community plugins. So yeah, you can probably find like a lot of things in here. Setting user, set out for new, setting user, extend range. So yeah, also it extended some range in here, basically because the range is a little bit locked. So you can also, maybe you can also modify everything on the computer. So yeah, basically you can maybe look at this firmware first, and then maybe you can modify yourself the firmware. We have that kind of firmware. We have also Unleashed, which is an active firmware without legal limitations. Yeah, basically because in Europe or in other countries, the ranges that are used by the chip is that in your country, the ISM bands a little bit restricted. That means as a European, I can only use like the 433 megahertz range, also the 868 megahertz range. But for example, in the US, I can use the 300 megahertz. I can use also the 915 megahertz. Everything depends on which region you are. And yeah, it's a little bit limited. So possibly also the Flipper 0 English firmware can also like unlock everything. But if you look at the firmware, you can probably just look at in here Flipper 0 like that. We can probably also look at the libs, the Sub-GHz protocols, let's say, and where is it? Protocols base. Maybe it is in here. No, in here you probably like find the protocols that are used for the Sub-GHz. So also you will see like some nice rolling code maybe implementation. So from Somfy, yeah, this is that maybe key store worker. encoder, receiver, transmitter type, where it is, blocks. Wait a second, I will try to retry them in here again. So yeah, basically on the applications like that, gigahertz settings like that. And yeah, if you look at, for example, there's like a function called default function in here. So yeah, if you want to use, for example, not the unleashed firmware, but the official firmware, but without the limitations for the sub-gigahertz, you can at some point also not patch this one, but patch this function just like that. I just take only that. Okay, so basically we can do that. Okay, and then we can probably just make everything. Oh, no targets. Okay. LBT. Okay. I've already downloaded the GCR non-EBA, but yeah, why not? They just make my work more easier, but I already do that. I already did that. And probably also in the meantime, this compiling, we can probably look at, I will just like maybe exit that. Okay. Oh. It seems like we failed to 100 error, gigahertz. Okay, so it's probably our fix that is not good. Application, gigahertz, settings, see what is going on with that. Region, instance. Okay. As I said, Flipper Zero also allows you to develop your own applications, but also to modify the firmware. So let's maybe try to raise a little bit the limitation we got with the sub-gigahertz module in order to maybe get this remote working. I want to shut down this lamp, right? So let's make it work. We're going to the again, then we're just like, because yeah, you can actually make all the firmware with FBT command, but we will look at the applications now. We use sub-gigahertz, and the sub-gigahertz settings normally give us like some bands that we could also use. And yeah, one of the bands that was not expected was the one, wait a second, I will try to retrieve it once again with one RTL SDR. So just replugging the RTL SDR, then UART, that's now. Spectrum analyzer. If you want to see what is going on, you can see it. If you want to see what is going on, you can see it in here. So Now we'll just change this frequency. Now let's run everything. Oh, is there again? Like that. Okay, so now do that. You see our two spikes in here. FSK up. And now okay. It's super strange. Wait a second. I will just go back in here. Let's see with UART again the frequency, because I don't remember. Like that. Okay, so yeah, the signal is really bad, but yeah. Now we see our 2 FSK signal in here. It's like 336 something as such, right? 1364, let's say that. So yeah, basically what I will do is that now I will just change that like that, and let's see. So 5, wait a second, once again 364, okay. And 364, 364. Looks good. Now just copy it somewhere else, like on the hopper frequency list. So I'm expecting also that to be in the list. Okay, so here are the frequency that Europe and Russia. Okay, so I will also extend it a bit like that. I'm sure that it will take in account what I want. Okay, let's extend it like that. And then there's like also other options. So for example, you can just reconfigure everything here, just like to let every possible frequency to be set. But yeah, now I just extended the list in here of the UE and Russia versions. So let's compile this project. So I will just compile it. FBT. Let's make a prayer. Yeah, it's downloading all the two chain also, so it's pretty annoying because I have already downloaded it, but yeah. The good thing about it is that I have nothing to do, but yeah, at first I was expecting to use actually the ARM toolchain in order to compile it, but yeah. Okay, and so now let's say we want to modify a little bit the firmware of the flipper, because we can develop applications. So let's maybe just extend it in order to support the frequency for this remote. So follow me for these steps. So we'll go in here. Wait a second, I will just show you the terminal in here. So basically we want to support the 868.364. So yeah, just that. So now we will just go to Flipper 0, applications, Sub-GHz, and then extend maybe the settings. Okay, so in here I will add some other frequencies. Let's say we want the Okay, 364, 364, 364. Okay. So 3, 6, 4, 4, like that. I will copy it maybe everywhere. So I have extended, for example, the European Eurasia range, but I will also extend this because we can. Like that. So basically, if you want to unlock your flipper 0, you can also do that this way. That. And then you have the USCR. So yeah, basically also if you want also to add the UA things, you can also edit them there. GP, blah, blah, blah. And also if you want to unlock everything, you can basically just remove all the switch case and just take the default one. So it doesn't matter. So you can just remove everything and just take the default case. So like that, you can remove everything. So now let's maybe compile this. Okay, so yeah, the binary is in here. Okay. Okay, basically I've compiled everything in here, but I have already made like a project. But yeah, now maybe latest firmware. So let's see if, for example, using the companion now, I will be able to have the latest firmware. Just in case, I will just like also destroy the build in here. So like that, I'm sure that I'm starting from fresh. I'm not sure also. So now we're just waiting. Let's see then if we have been able to unlock these possibilities. You can then add more range, etc. Maybe just like I'll add all the ranges. Yeah, the frequency hopping is basically just, as you saw, just some function that will change the frequency from time to time. So it is not a real hopping on the same same range, same band, for example. So now let's use the latest firmware. So I will go now to the companion. So you can flash it through the companion, also through the DFU by just reporting it on the recovery mode. But as the companion is quite nice to execute, I prefer the companion. Yeah. Julia 3, let's maybe install from file. Now we go to user, test, firmware, and then we can go to build, latest firmware DFU. This is this one. Yeah, this is this one. Perfect. Let's install it and pray. Like that. And maybe go to sleep later. Okay, so now exiting. Continue. Perfect. Now the flipper is more than happy. So now let's go to Sub-GHz read and see if we have been able to change something. Yeah, we've been able to change it. Perfect. So we have some hope now. Let's see. Seriously, why? Why? Okay, I will just try with some hopping because sometimes I have much more success with hopping. Yeah, maybe there's like also an offset to take in account. I don't know. This is crazy. Let's go to maybe, wait a second, I'll just maybe do frequency analyzer. Okay, it sees it. It doesn't see it where I see it. It's basically like 36 or I don't know, 34. 34. Yeah, I clearly don't know exactly where it does. Sees it's super annoying. Yeah, I would just try again, but yeah, now I'm just like a little bit hopeless. Hopeless completely. Wait, where is the... Oh, sorry. Was I doing 433 instead? Wait a second. Yeah, maybe I also did a mistake. That's read. Okay. 36 normally. Copy no. It's FM. Let's see. I'm hopeless. I'm really hopeless right now. Because in here we have been able to extend it a little with our frequency. Maybe by changing maybe the FM mode. Because I don't know actually what is this FM mode. FM 476 doesn't mean anything I know precisely. So basically also maybe I know I don't know anything, so I'm just like Jon Snow also, so just trying to find this frequency, but yeah, I'm a little bit hopeless about this. So come on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I have to patch it with different frequencies and maybe it will show something, we'll see something. So yeah, let's see with applications like that, and let's see. I will try different frequencies. So maybe this one, I mean, like that. Then maybe also, we don't know actually what is the offset, because probably there's a little offset of errors between the module and what is actually transmitting. I will try to maybe add some more frequencies in here. Oh shit, maybe it's like something. Okay, so this looks good. Okay, I will just like maybe copy it like that in here. Let's maybe use them like that. Okay. Hopper. Let's hop also in here. Like that. Like that also. And yeah. Okay, so now we try to flash it. Okay. Is there like a function clean like that, or no? Nothing to clean. Okay, so it seems like probably it will work. Let's see. Let's go back to the companion once again. I like this companion. So test flipper firmware. Build the latest if you install, let's wait. Firmware download Osna start. Log. Nice. Right, now let's see what we got. Restart device, continue, and now let's hope for the best. Super happy flipper. But I'm not super happy because I just wasted a lot of time in here. So sorry flipper, but yeah, let's do some hopping now. And we use the FM. And it's super crazy. I'm still sending something here, doesn't see it. Yeah, probably maybe I have to adjust a little bit more the offset at some point, but I cannot see actually what is going on, so yeah. Not super convenient. It's not, for example, the, wait a second, maybe I would try with this one, with some other op, crazy. If I'm using like another remote like this one, for example, that you saw in one of my previous video, it will actually maybe work like this one, for example. But no, based on my last video, for example, when you saw how to actually decode everything and how to actually also break in the lazy way also, you can actually think and you can actually see that it will not be able to decode this kind of remote. So yeah, with several tries, it's not able to actually decode it properly. It can decode, for example, the serial number, the fixed part, but the rest is completely ugly. But still, it does recognize that it's keylock at some point. So yeah, there's a lot of possibilities because if you implement, for example, the Cardin's protocol, for example, at some point, it will probably be able to decode it. Finally, I was able also to flash all the firmwares in order to see the difference, but unfortunately, I had like exactly the same problem. So for example, I was trying to flash this firmware, so the firmware unlocked with plugins, and so I could also clearly see that I had all the frequencies available, but yeah, it is not the problem. The problem with the Sub-GHz is probably just like the wrong offset with between my remote and what the frequency this Flipper Zero is actually scanning. Also, with this firmware that you can actually also find in this repository, reference in this repository, not this one, sorry. Oh, where is the awesome? Yeah, this one. So the awesome flipper, you can find a nice collection. And yeah, I just flashed this firmware and could see also the difference. So there's like some UniRF things in here. You have some maybe other NFC stuff, like you can detect like for example a reader, so that's quite nice. Also we have the Wi-Fi marauder attack that you can also use. If for example you have some the Wi-Fi extension of this device, you can actually also play with it. For the moment I don't have it, so I cannot test it and I cannot like make some feedbacks. Yeah, and then you can try to use other features, but yeah, still about the features that I was like trying to test, like the NFC, for example, the emulation, it's Also with other firmwares is also a little bit fuzzy, so yet it needs some improvements. And good morning. I needed also sometimes to sleep a little bit because after the whole night testing this device, it was a little bit complicated to actually be objective about this device. So let me just give you my feedback now. Now let's talk about the pros of this device. This device is pretty well made. The form factor is awesome. You can hide in every pocket. Yeah, also the concept of flipper is some, it reminds us like some old Tamagotchi toys that we had in the past. Kind of cool, old times. On the radio parts, you have like the HID, for example, reading, also emulation. You can also write into a T5577 tag. It's also the same case, for example, for the EAM marine tags. On the HF sides, or for the MIFARE Classic, you can also emulate the UID. You can read also the tag, you can read also the content, you can also save it into the SD card, so that's cool. Also with the MIFARE Desfire, you can read into the content of the tag, so that's great. There's also some nice other features, for example, the I buttons, but also the other features like the byte USB and other features that you will find in other plugins, additional plugins, etc. Now let's talk about the cons. So yeah, as you could see, for the Sub-GHz modules, it was really complicated to get all my remotes, and even also sizing over central frequency, it was also difficult to acquire. It was impossible when I was like trying. Maybe it's a matter of bandwidth. I don't know actually. I didn't also debate too much deeply on this, but yeah, this part is even not workish for the moment, and also not very practical because if you look at the spectrum analyzer, it does not give you like a lot of information, so you cannot see precisely, for example, with a nice FFT, where is your signal. About the complex MIFARE Classic emulation, this is also complicated because if you try to read all the blocks, it would be very fuzzy. But yeah, if you are precise and you authenticate one specific block, it sounds like it could work. So I expect that probably like an access control system that wants to just authenticate to one specific block to authenticate a user, it can work. But in other contexts, it can be like very fuzzy. But let's see, maybe in the nearest future, it will work perfectly on a lot of targets, so we'll be able to use it on the Sub-GHz targets as well as the RFID targets. We'll see. Everything depends on the improvement, the contributions. So yeah, if you enjoy this device, maybe you can also contribute yourself. I will probably also contribute myself. I don't know, maybe if you have time, but no, let's not be fatalist about it. So this is the end of this video. I hope you like it, and so don't forget to subscribe on this channel and also button. Thank you very much guys, and see you later. Bye.